Hey there, all you awesome agents. This is Clark Mundy, your Director of Technology at KW Central 75 and KW DFW Preferred. A little birdie told me some of you agents were wondering, whenever you have a buyer and their offer is not accepted, how do we go in and revise in DocuSign, update, and send our new offer without making it a big, hairy, difficult process? I'm going to show you how to do that today, okay? As always, we're in Command, agent.kw.com. On the left side of the page, we're going to go down to Opportunities right here. You can also click the red KW to get an expanded view if you don't know the names or the icons just yet. We're going to go down to Opportunities. I personally like to go to the All Opportunities list because it's a list view. And we're going to go in for my Testy McTest buyer here. Once inside the opportunity, you're automatically brought to the Details tab. We're going to jump over to Documents. And then far right side, go to Transaction. Now, as you can see, I did a fake offer to myself. I sent it to myself for signatures for the purpose of this training. So there's your certification, nothing we need there. Here is the signed copy of the contract. I just did the contract and the third-party financing just for simplicity. See, we've got our initials there. I made myself the buyer. So we've got this completely filled out by the buy side. And here is our regular plain document that we originally edited to send for signatures, okay? Now, obviously, when you're working with a buyer, they put in an offer on a property and that doesn't work out, you got to look somewhere else. Then obviously we're going to need to change the property address and some other data on these offers before we can resend them. So see here, no signatures on this one. This is all able to be filled out. So the easiest way to do this, whenever you do have an offer that was not accepted and it's time to create the new offer, all you're going to do for simplicity's sake is just edit that first offer that you wrote, okay? And the easiest way to make all of the information pull over correctly to autofill for you is actually by going back to the Details tab. I always recommend going to the Details tab first before sending any paperwork for signatures, because if you're using a form, it'll auto-populate based on the information you put in here to save you some time. So we're going to click on the Details tab. Now see, originally we had put in our offer for 123 Anywhere Street, okay? Well, our buyer and our buyer's agent is not changing, of course. It would just be the property in this instance. So on the top right, I hit the Edit button to make these changeable. And let's say instead of that, we found 456 Main Street. And that was, instead of somewhere, that was in Nowhere, Texas. All right, county. All right, we'll say all of that was the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is our zip code. And that's all we've got in here, okay? So we've come into details, we've edited this address right here, okay? Again, this is 456 Main Street. It was 123 Anywhere Street, I believe. Hit save. You'll see it the green on the top. It has been updated. We're gonna go back to the Documents tab now. And let's click into our contract that initially I had written for signatures for right here. Let's click into that. And when we do so, you'll see that it updated and revised the property address. See right there, 456 Main Street. Obviously, you'll need to come and edit your lot and block, your addition, things like that. There would be more to add into that Details tab for everything to auto-populate. You can see right off the bat, that did update. Well, let's say Fake Seller Smith was who we were in an offer with the first time, but that didn't work out. So Fake Seller Johnson is who we're now going to be under contract with. And instead of putting 40,000 down, let's say they're putting 45 down now, and it was a 205 sales price, and then they were financing 155. So we'll get back to 200. We're just changing a few numbers here. See, changing these adds up to the sum total. Obviously, you'd have real data in here for your earnest money, your title company. There would be things in here to update, of course, okay? These are all editable on that Details tab. So when you update the title company, when you update the earnest money, all these different dates, all these different things in there, it will auto-update here on your end, okay? So we're clear that 456 Street in Nowhere, Texas is up here at the top, so we know it updated everywhere that we need to, okay? The buyer, all that. So see, Now we'll hit save and close. And let's go check out the third-party financing real quick. When we do so, you can see at the top of the screen right here, 456 Main Street, automatically updated. Well, we're going to need to update their loan amount. They're, instead of financing 160, they're financing 155 now, so we need to make sure we update that. All your stuff about the loan itself would need to be updated. If buyer approval changed for some reason, I don't think it would, but if it did, you can see it updated on the top of the screen here as well. All right, so everything's in there, good to go. So now that we've completely revised our second offer and it's time to send for signatures to our buyer, we're going to hover over the document, and this little circle in the top left pops up. We select that, and we're going to go to DocuSign once we select both of our documents. So we've got our blue form for the contract and our blue form for the third-party financing. To send the signatures, we're going to go into the DocuSign, which is pen icon right here. We're going to select that. We'll rename the envelope offer number 2. I will make myself the recipient by going to pre-tagged roles, and I'll select myself as the buyer, even though we all know I'm not, but for the purposes of this, so that you can see it. All right, I always like to make my envelope name the email subject line as well. All right, so we've got our envelope name, offer number 2, our buyer, our email subject, and our email message. Now we're going to hit next in the top right in the yellow. And this will take us into the DocuSign platform you're all probably familiar with. All right, so we can scroll down. Let's check this out. All right, so we've got our buyer initial right there. So we've got all our initials where they need to be. That's good. Just always like to double check before hitting send for signatures. All right, our signature box and date signed. By the way, on date signed, just to pause really quick, if obviously you're going to have the seller sign this, it's the contract. I highly recommend making the date signed smaller or just moving it over, because it actually encroaches over here on the seller side. Only for if it's on the left side of the page would you need to do this. But it's a very long, it's down to the time zone, and I think down to the second even. Several different digits. So if you don't move it over, if you left it right there, it would probably go to about right here on the screen, and we don't want that for the seller because it's going to cover up their name. So I always recommend moving that over a little bit, and then you can move your date signed, or sorry, your signature box over as well. Let's double check if there's anything else we need to add. All right, our buyer box. Initially, when I did this for the test, it popped up about right here. So on the third-party financing, just know you may want to check on that and just drag it down to the line if it does appear a little bit higher than it should be. Again, same thing here. I'm going to move this date signed box over and the signature so that nothing is getting covered up. All right, so we're good to go. Everything in there looks good to me. I'm going to hit send for signatures. And because I am the buyer and it went to me, I'm the only one assigned, I'm going to go ahead and sign this real quick, okay? Continue. This is what your client sees. Initial there. Sign that. Perfect. So now everything is in there. I can finish it. All right, congrats. You have successfully signed your envelope. Awesome. So now we can go back into, rooms right here. And we're on the envelopes tab right now. We're going to go back to documents. And now you'll see we've got 2 signed copies of the contract. We've got the initial one that we wrote on and we revised together, as well as the third party, and 2 copies of the third party. If you're at this point, I highly recommend coming in here, figuring out which documents are the old ones and which ones are the new ones so that you are not confused. So I know that this is the new one because it's got a 1 next to it. That means it's a copy. So I'll click in here to show you. This one is going to be the one that said 123 for the street address. See right there? So what I want to do, now that I know this is the one I do not want to use, this is from offer 1, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that circle, just like we did to send to DocuSign. And I also know that this third-party finance is the first one because it does not have the 1, meaning it's the second copy. If it has no number, that means it's the only one. I'm going to go ahead and highlight both of these. And then at the top, the far right here, just next to the download button, is archive. I'm going to archive those and hit yes, because I do not want to see those in there and get confused when it's time to upload for compliance and things like that. If you accidentally archive the wrong document at any point, right here between envelopes and messages, you see active documents. You can select that. You can either view all documents to see archived and active, or you can just click archive documents. See, I archived a bunch of things from different tests, but we have our 1 to 4 contract right there, and we also have our let's see, third-party financing right here as well. So both of those things that we just did. You also have the date when they were edited or archived under there as well. So you can always go in and check in case you did send a document to the wrong place. So I hope this was helpful, y'all. So this is how you would edit an offer to send it for a new property for your buyers. As always, please let me know what I can be doing for you. And if you have other things like this that you are confused about, we can schedule a one-on-one. I can do screen recordings like this for the offices. Y'all just let me know what you need, okay? As always, have a great day, and I will see y'all next time.